Good evening, students. Today we are going to discuss about the pharmacology for nurses. This will be for BSc Nursing second year students. So here the chapter which we are going to deal is the drugs used in GI system. Let's see the drugs used in GI system. Here we will see a short note. GI system drugs are antacids and their classification are systemic, example sodium bicarbonate, and non-systemic, example magnesium hydroxide. So these are classified into two types: systemic, that is example sodium bicarbonate, and non-systemic, example magnesium hydroxide. So let's see about antacids. So antacids, so what are antacids? The antacids are weak bases which are given orally to neutralize the gastric acid and raise the acidic gastric pH of the gastric content. Why they are given? They are the weak bases and they are given orally only to neutralize the gastric acid and raise the gastric pH of the gastric content, and they also inhibit the pepsin formation. So there are two classifications, as already know. These are the systemic and non-systemic. The systemic is the sodium bicarbonate, and non-systemic example can be calcium carbonate, magnesium hydroxide, aluminum hydroxide. Mechanism of action for both are same, that is they neutralize the acidity, increase the gastric pH, acidity, that is the gastric acid, and revisibly reduce or block the secretion of acid by gastric cells to reduce acidity in the stomach. Means acidity will be neutralized by increasing the pH of the gastric content. Now, what are the indications? The indications of this can be gastroesophageal reflux disease, acid ingestion, gastroesophageal reflux disease, GERD, and acid ingestion means acid will not digest properly in peptic ulcer. Contraindication can be chronic heart failure, hemorrhoids, impacted stool or hardened stool, blood in the stool, chronic heart failure, kidney disease or kidney problem, stomach or intestine blockage, chronic diarrhea, etc. Now let's see the common antacids used are. First one is the magnesium hydroxide. Magnesium hydroxide, as we know, it comes in the non-systemic only. So it is used for short-term treatment of occasional constipation. If there is occasional constipation occurring, so it is used at that time. And the symptoms of hyperacidity, magnesium replacement therapy also it can use in the symptoms of hyperacidity, magnesium replacement therapy. It promotes bowel evacuation by causing osmotic retention of fluid, and which descend the colon and increase the peristaltic activity. Means it helps in the bowel passage and increasing the peristaltic activity. It reacts with the hydrochloric acid in the stomach to form magnesium chloride also. Doses which should be given in the children 2.5 to 5 ml 4 times per day, and adults 5 to 15 ml 4 times per day. Tablet, children 1 tab 4 times a day, and adults 2 to 4 tabs 4 times a day. Here mostly we are going to see the mechanism of action, name of the drug, and its classification. Then second one is the calcium carbonate. It is also non-systemic. It is an antacid only and used for treatment of calcium deficiency or hyperphosphatemia like osteoporosis, osteomalacia, mild moderate renal insufficiency, then hypoparathyroidism, postmenopausal osteoporosis, rickettsia, etc. and has been used to bind the phosphate calcium salts and antacid to neutralize the gastric acidity resulting in gastric and duodenal pH. They additionally inhibit the proteolytic activity of pepsin if the pH is increased, and increase the lower esophageal sphincter tone. Means mostly they are used for the calcium deficiency or hyperphosphatemia like osteoporosis, osteomalacia, rickets. Up to this is enough. Then third one is the aluminum hydroxide. This is used for treatment of hyperacidity. So there is hyperacidity, hyperphosphatemia. They look calcium carbonate and Aluminum hydroxide both help in reducing treatment of hyperphosphatemia, hyperacidity, temporary protection of the minor curves, scrapes and burns. It should be used in case of hypersensitivity to aluminum, salt or any component of the formulation. It neutralizes the hydrochloride in stomach to form KLCl2 salt plus H2O. What is drug interaction? Drug interaction, the antacids affect the absorption of other medicines such as digoxin, INH, tetracycline, antibiotics. It is given orally at the same time. Therefore, these drugs should be given 2 hours apart from antacids. Yes, antacids should be given apart from the other drugs. Then adverse effect. Adverse effects are carbonate and bicarbonate. Regular high doses of carbonate and bicarbonate can cause alkalosis, which may lead to altered excretion of the other drugs and also the kidney stone. So carbonate and bicarbonate, if high doses are given, they may lead to the situation of kidney stone formation. Aluminum hydroxide, it can form insoluble ammonium phosphate complexes, which in turn may cause hyperphosphatemia and osteomalacia. Aluminum containing neurotoxics and can also cause constipation also. Then magnesium hydroxide, it has laxative effects, and there may be accumulation of magnesium in patients with renal failure leading to hypermagnesemia, causing cardiovascular neurological complications, and sodium is an excessive or increased intake of sodium may also be unsafe for atrial hypertension, heart failure and renal disease. Now we'll talk about the nursing responsibility. All the nursing responsibility for antacids will be same, or mostly all the gastrointestinal system, the nursing responsibility are little bit similar only. So as for the allergies and pre-existing conditions that may restrict the use of antacids such as fluid imbalance, renal disease, heart failure, pregnancy and GI obstruction, then clients with heart failure or hypertension should use low sodium antacids. Use with caution with other medication due to many drug interactions. Most medication should be given 1 to 2 hours after giving an antacid. Antacid may cause premature dissolving of entry-coated medication, resulting in a stomach upset. Be sure that the chewable tablets are chewed thoroughly and liquid forms are shaken well before doing so. Antacid should be properly dissolved. If not dissolved, may cause stomach upset. Then administer with at least 240 ml of water to enhance the absorption, except for the rapid dissolved forms. Caffeine, alcohol, harsh spices and black pepper may aggravate the underlying GI condition. Then patient education. For aluminum hydroxide, take as directly preferable 1 to 3 times hours after meals when an antacid is used with any other medication. Then when used to decrease phosphorus, take within 20 minutes of a meal. Do not increase sodium intake and maintain adequate hydration unless instructed to restrict the fluid intake. Then you may experience constipation, increased exercise, fluid, fruits, fiber. If resolved, contact prescriber. Then histamine type 2 antagonist we are going to discuss. So let's see. Histamine type 2 antagonist. The drugs of histamine type 2 antagonists are cimetidine and ranitidine. What are the drugs? These are the cimetidine and ranitidine, and these are histamine type 2 H2 antagonists. And proton pump inhibitor are the pantoprazole and omeprazole. So these two names you have to remember. These are mostly the important names. At least 2 drugs you should remember of the classification. So now we are going to discuss about histamine type 2 receptor antagonist, cimetidine and ranitidine. Histamine type 2 antagonist. These drugs inhibit the gastric acid secretion but do not completely stop it. What happens here? Histamine type 2 antagonist. These drugs inhibit the gastric acid secretion but do not completely stop it. Means they can inhibit or make it slow the secretion of the gastric acid but cannot stop it. It blocks histamine H at the receptor site of acid producing parietal cells. In the acid producing parietal cells, gastric acid producing parietal cells, where histamine is present, they may block it. Production of hydrogen ion is reduced there and resulting in decreased production of HCl. The classification can be histamine type 2 antagonist. There is no class, only one class is there, histamine type 2 H2 antagonist, and the drugs are cimetidine, ranitidine. Mechanism of action is same for each and every one. What is that? That is the competitive inhibition of histamine at the H2 receptor of the gastric parietal cell, resulting in reduced gastric and gastric acid secretion, gastric volume, and hydrogen ion. That already I told you. Then we are going to discuss about the proton pump inhibitor. There I gave you two examples, that was the omeprazole and pantoprazole. So proton pump inhibitor. This is the newest category of drugs used to treat the acid-related disorders. Acid-related disorders, here it should be needed to do, and the parietal cell release positive hydrogen ion. What they do? They mostly release they also inhibit the parietal cell where H plus or K plus ATM pump is there. So the histamine type receptor. So it blocks the histamine, and proton pump inhibitor blocks the H plus or K plus in the parietal cell. So these are the antacids, and parietal cells release positive hydrogen ion during HCl production, and this is called as proton pump. When HCl ion is released during HCl production, may cause proton pump. Other agents such as H2 blocker and antihistamine do not stop the action of this pump. Other drugs irreversibly bind to H plus and K plus heterophase enzyme. What happens here? These drugs irreversibly bind to the H plus or K plus enzyme, heterophase enzyme. This bonds prevent the movement of hydrogen ion from the parietal cell into the stomach, and this results in the eclozyria. Gastric acid secretion is totally blocked. So main action is suppresses gastric acid secretion by inhibiting the parietal cell H plus or K plus protein pump. Side effects can be chest pain, migraine, anxiety, weakness, rash, psoriasis, hypoglycemia, diarrhea, constipation, dyspepsia. Mainly all the side effects like anxiety related to nervous system, migraine, headache, this is the UTI also, liver function test abnormality. Now the indication can be short-term 4 to 8 treatment of active duodenal ulcer. For duodenal ulcer or active benign gastric ulcer, we can use in treatment of heartburn or other symptoms with gastroesophageal reflux, GERD, and duodenal ulcer, we can use this type of drug. Then nursing responsibility for this is the assess for the allergies and history of the liver disease. Pantoprazole is only one proton inhibitor available for parenteral administration and can be used for clients who are unable to take oral medication, and can also be used to increase the serum level of diazepam, phentermine, and cause increased chance of bleeding with varicose. It should also be taken before meals. So the capsule tablet should be swallowed whole, not pressed, open and squeezed. It may be given with antacid and emphasize that treatment will be short. Here we have discussed. The next is mucosal protective agents. This I will discuss in later. Thank you class.